Hello, and welcome everyone to the weekly webinar where you learn about product functionality and new feature launches about QuickSight. Today's topic will be accelerate QuickSight deployment using Asset as a Code APIs. My name is Deepak Singh. I'm a QuickSight Solutions Architect. I'm joined by my colleagues Anwar Ali and Ashok Dasanini. Anwar will be co-hosting with me and Ashok will be moderating the session and answering your questions posted in QuickSight Community about today's session. We are celebrating first birthday of QuickSight Community. So I would like to invite our QuickSight Community Manager, Christine Mandia, to share a few words. Christine?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen. I have met a number of you. It's so great to be here and to see you taking advantage of these fantastic learning opportunities that our SAs are leading us in every week, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the Americas and every Thursday at 10 a.m. in EMEA. So thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating our 1-year birthday anniversary with us. As you can see on the screen, the QuickSight community has come a long way. We have weekly online learning sessions, as we've just talked about. We have a learning center where you can get started. They're getting started resources. We have how-to videos. We have how-to articles. We have Demo Central, our documentation. It's all in the QuickSight community as our one-stop shop for learning. You can also find new features, blogs, upcoming events, so other ways to learn. And it's also a place where, as we'll see today, you can search for answers to your questions. We have thousands of questions with answers that are, we moderate that Q&A and you will get a reply. So take advantage of that, ask your questions, and if you're an expert, you can show your expertise by answering some of those questions and helping out your peers. In fact, we do recognize our experts, so our top experts every month, every quarter, every year get recognized, and if you're an expert, we'd encourage you to show your expertise and help others. If we want to go to the next slide, and the QuickSight community is also a great place to get your questions answered. I think we can go on to the next slide, one more slide. And if you have a question today, we're going to be utilizing the community to get your questions answered. You just need to sign up for the community. We'll put the link in the chat, or you can scan this QR code. And once you've joined the community, you can ask your questions directly on the community, both today and ongoingly. And now I'm going to toss the baton over to Deepak, who's going to take over from here.
All right, Christine, thanks a lot. So let's quickly look at if we want to raise a question in the community, how do we go about doing that, right? So you can still see my screen. If you go to QuickSight Community, you land on the home page. Within the home page, you can click on categories, and within the categories, as Christine mentioned, on the home page, you have all different menu options that help you learn, right? You can access the workshops, portal, Demo Central. But if you wanted to ask questions, you go to categories, click on questions and answers. And then there you have list of, all the questions and answered that have been being answered and asked today. But you can also ask a new question by clicking on this new question button, and that will bring up to you, right? When you're asking questions about today's session, what you want to do is you want to use a session tag for today, which is QLS asset as a code. There's the tag. You want to use that tag, and then you can go about typing your question, and then title for your question and the details of the questions, right? So we encourage you to raise the question this way. That way, as a moderator, Ashok has visibility to your questions and he can answer those questions within the community. Okay. So, first thing we get generally asked is, will today's session be recorded? Yes, the session will be recorded and the video will be posted on QuickSight Community website as well as QuickSight YouTube channel later this week. So let's dive deep into agenda for today. What we want to go over first is look at few sample use cases that are relevant and can be enabled by BI Asset as a Code feature for QuickSight. Then we look at the expanded APIs that enable the Asset as a Code feature. We'll walk through an example of dashboard migration from one account to another account, and we'll look at that flow, and then we'll demo the same. So these are some of the most common use cases we hear from our customers we believe will be enabled by BI Asset as a Code. Say one of the use cases in your organization, you have dev account for QuickSight, test, and prod, and you want to deploy code from dev to test, test to prod. With BI Asset as a Code, you are able to achieve this and be able to automate this process. And also, Asset as a Code gives you flexibility to create and maintain version of your code, say using GitHub or any other code repository tools that you may have. Now, another use case may be that you have one account and you want to take a backup of your assets, such as analysis and dashboard. You can do that with Asset as a Code. Say you are an ISV and you have a multi-tenant setup for QuickSight, and you want to deploy unique dashboards to some of your customers, say by changing the theme of the dashboard or adding a sheet to the dashboard that's not published to all the customers. That's also something you can achieve using Asset as a Code. Now, you can also may have a use cases about if you want to collaborate among your team members, and then each of your team members may want to author individual sheets, and then eventually you want to merge the sheets together in a single dashboard. That's another use case that you can achieve using Asset as a Code. So these are just some of the common use cases. There may be many more that may be on your mind, on your agenda. Those can be enabled using BI Asset as a Code feature that QuickSight released recently. Now, let's look at those APIs. So the Asset as a Code feature is enabled using 3 new APIs. These APIs allow programmatic creation and management of dashboards, analysis, and templates. These APIs are describe analysis definition, describe template definition, describe dashboard definitions. When you run these APIs, they provide you JSON output, and you can use the definition tag of the JSON file along with other APIs, say create dashboard or create analysis to create new assets with those, right? The APIs are fully supported in AWS SDK. So though in today's demo, we will demo you using the code deployment using CLI, you can use these APIs to fully automate your CI/CD pipeline. So just be aware, right? You can achieve it a POC using CLIs, but if you want to deploy CI/CD pipeline and automate it, you can use AWS SDK. With that, I will hand it over to Anwar.
Thanks, Deepak.
And I will stop my sharing.
Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so Deepak has explained around like 4 use cases of using new Asset as a Code APIs, describe dashboard definition, describe analysis definition. Now, I will take the first use case and maybe through the demo in next few minutes, I will show how to use this APIs through CLI. So assume that you have a non-production account where you have a QuickSight dashboard deployed. With this, if suppose you want to move this particular dashboard from non-production account to production account, you will be running describe dashboard definition command in the source account, which is your non-prod, and you will get an output a JSON file or an object, and that particular file you will use to create the dashboard in the target account. So on left side, what you're seeing, it is on the source account. Once you generate that particular dashboard definition JSON file by using describe dashboard definition, you copy this file in the target account. And in the target account, maybe in the non-production account, you may be working with a different data set, while in production account, you may be working with a production database where structure is similar, but the data is different. So you have to swap the dataset ARNs, and maybe if you want to use a different theme, you have to swap the theme ARN. So you may modify this particular file before using it, and then you use create dashboard definition to create a new dashboard from the JSON file, or you may use update dashboard to update the existing dashboard. And in the process, either as a part of this command or as a later part, you may even change the permissions in the target account. So finally, you will get your dashboard in the target account. So let's go to this particular steps. So I'm having two environment, assuming that first environment is my non-production account, which I'm showcasing in the Chrome window here. This is my source dashboard. And with this, I want to move this particular dashboard in my target account. The Firefox browser, what you're seeing, this is my target account. So here you can see that right now there is no dashboard here. So what I will do is this is a different account and my source is different account. Now I have to move this particular dashboard from my source account to target account. So first thing what I will do is in my source account, through the CLI, I've connected to the source environment. So this is the dashboard ID. You can see the same dashboard ID, what is here. And I will run my first command, describe dashboard definition. So this is the syntax for describe dashboard definition. You have to give account IDs and dashboard IDs, and you will give the file where you want to generate the output file. So I'm using the file name simple dashboard response, and I'm generating this file here. So let's see if this file is generated. Yeah. So you see the current timestamp, a file is generated here. So let's explore this particular file. So I'm opening it in Visual Studio Code editor, and here you can see the definition of the file. So each and every aspect of that particular dashboard, what all sheets are there, what all visuals are there, what properties are there for that particular dashboard, and even the filters, dataset ARNs, everything is available here. So what I may do here is first thing I want to remove is the status code and maybe this request ID. Okay. And I'm going to use this particular response file in my target account. But before doing that, one more thing I want to do is swap my non-production dataset to production dataset, right? So right now currently I generated this particular dashboard definition from non-production account. So it is pointing to non-production dataset. I need to change it to production dataset. So for that purpose, let's say this is my source account, this is my target account. So I'm connected to my target account, and in my target account, I will set up environment variable so that it will point to the correct AWS account ID while running any command here. So let's get the dataset ARN for my target account. So if I go to my target account, I will see that there are different datasets here. So I have to pick up the dataset ARN for this SaaS sales dataset. This is equivalent to my source dataset ARN. So I have used list datasets command, and for SaaS sales dataset, I got this ARN. Now I'm going to replace the source dataset ARN with this. Let's save this particular file. Now my file is ready to be deployed. I've swapped my non-production data source to production data source. And let's upload this particular file in the target account. I basically want to switch it from one environment to another environment. So I will use a simple method of copying this file in S3 bucket and downloading from there. So I moved my file in the S3 bucket, and in the target environment, I want to copy it back. So I will use the S3 copy command. Get this file. Okay, so I've copied it in my target account. Now I have whatever dashboard definition I have prepared, I will use the create dashboard command to create it in target environment. So command is AWS QuickSight create dashboard, and I can give my target account ID and this file if as an input as a CLI input JSON. The dashboard definition file is what I am using. So it's giving me status 202. That means it is creating this particular dashboard. So I'm using a user. My current QuickSight user in the target account is the username is Anwar Ali Isengard 2. So I'm going to use this to give permission on the dashboard to this particular user. So there is a dashboard permission. I've compiled a file dashboard permission.json, and it is having the properties that on this particular to Anwar Ali Isengard user give the permission of describe dashboard, list dashboard, and other permissions on the QuickSight. So you can give the permissions for a specific dashboard by using this command. So let's give the permission to Anwar Ali Isengard user. So permissions are updated on the target dashboard. And if I go to my target dashboard here, and let's see, the dashboard might be created by now. Yeah. So updated 1 minute ago. So it has just created this account, this dashboard in my target account. And you can see that I have successfully migrated a dashboard from my source account to target account. So this is my Chrome browser window, which is having my source dashboard, and equivalent dashboard is generated in my target account, which is my Firefox which is in my Firefox browser. So I'm able to successfully migrate dashboard from source account to the target account. Going forward, if you want to automate this particular pipeline as a continuously deploying from source to target account, you may even accomplish this every time. Rather than creating a new dashboard, you can use update dashboard command and automate this as a deployment pipeline. So imagine like a scenario where BI analyst develops new versions of the dashboard, and through continuous deployment pipeline, you may be deploying it in to multiple environments. And in the transition, because you have complete control on this particular JSON file, you will be modify the properties. For example, you may change the theme or colors or logos or customize this dashboard before deployment in another account as well. So that's how I have kind of moved it. So going forward, I also want to leave you with certain documentations on AWS API. So describe dashboard definition and describe analysis definition, as well as other APIs for permission management. Those all things are available in the AWS documentation. So I recommend you to visit the page there. And even for specific SDKs, if you're using, let's say, a .NET or Python, Java, Node.js, in different programming languages, we provide SDKs through which help you to automate deployment with your code. And there is also very good AWS blog article, which I recommend to go through, which talks more about usage of this particular API to accelerate your BI transformation. And Demo Central is another great place to look for the QuickSight sample dashboards and inspired by some of the work there. Other upcoming events, one thing I would say that there is a exciting live Q&A series for QuickSight. And on next Thursday, on 23rd of March, you will be able to ask the questions in a live session. So what I suggest is you may post your questions on the QuickSight community, and some of those will be covered in the live session next week. And the seats are filling up fast, so I recommend you to register soon for this particular event. Thank you all for your time, and we appreciate if you can provide us feedback. It will help us in continuously improving this particular session. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Goodbye.